Yeah, it's starting. Yeah, it says, okay.
There we go.
Welcome back to the Tracie Trendy Show, my lovelies. It's another day, another dollar, and we got another interview, this time with Latisha. She has asked to be on the Tracie Trendy Show. And I asked you guys to come with your questions because, I'm not I want to get to the truth of things. So first, I want to ask Letitia, why would you want to go under this spotlight with me?
Um,
Why did you request this?
well, I do love to support my Black women. Okay. I love that. So I want to support. Also, I feel like I need to
Mhm.
get myself out there more. And I want people to ask me directly, instead of assuming things or whatever the case is. Some things are true, some things are not true. So I am the type of person, I have no problem when people asking me.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. I'm gonna ask you a softer question. They're gonna get a little tougher as we go along.
I've been,
Um,
I'm a felon. I've been
just
asked all
general. This
types of
is soft,
questions.
huh?
I'm a
Okay,
felon.
here we
I can
go.
handle it.
Just, huh? Oh,
I said, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I
I
have
said
this
I'm a
loud
felon. I
AC
can handle
sounding
it.
in here.
Oh,
Okay. You're a felon.
oh yeah.
It says Just Jen World wants to know what made you want to join the show? What made you want to be in We Entertainment?
Honestly, Miss Tracy, I'm a lover.
You can
I'm a
just call me
Leo.
Tracy. You can just call me Tracy.
I'm sorry, it's a habit.
Okay.
Okay, Tracy. I am a lover. So my friend was like, "Oh, talking about the show, Love After Lockup, Love During Lockup." So I just hear love and lockup. I'm like, I'm in love. So let me go
Hmm.
on the show and tell everybody. I had never
Right.
watched it before, so I didn't really know about all the extra stuff that came with it.
Hmm. Right. Interesting. So did you at least preview the show before you came on, or you just went blindly, just signed me up, or what?
I did go blindly, honestly. And then it was like right after I had applied to be on the show, and not even that, because they had called me like the next day or two. Then
Oh.
all of a sudden, like I was seeing like Monique and Derek in my timeline all the time. It was
Uh-huh.
like really weird. It's
Uh,
probably the algorithm or something. So at that point, I did get scared because I'm like, wow, this is real shit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But I didn't really understand it until I actually went through it myself. So,
Okay. All righty. Okay, because it's I know it's because the cameras all in your house all the time. How's it like
mhm.
12-hour shoots?
Yes, ma'am. On average, like 8 to 10 hours. But it's not really that is hard, but it's really the media that's harder.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Okay, so my name, Unavailable, wants to know what is your opinion of the facts of HIV rates among prisoners and the very likelihood that your man has possibly participated in some same-sex or HIV activity?
Wow, I never been asked that question.
I told you
Yeah, I never been asked that
these
question.
loves be coming at you.
Yes, they do. It's okay. Uh, I mean, not every man that's incarcerated messes with other men. There are men that are straight, and my husband is one of those. So,
Okay.
for the men that are not, or that are messing around, I mean, if you are going to be gay for the stay, okay, then that's on you. I was
I
in
guess that's the.
prison. I didn't mess
Mhm.
with no women, okay. Yeah,
So how long were you in prison?
about a year. Back in
Oh, okay.
2015, I went to prison on a violation from a
Parole.
charge. Yep, I lied on my food stamp application. It's the truth, public record.
Oh, so you one of those
Uh,
people that they ain't no joke. They coming
th-
for you.
they do, and they threw the book at me. They
Mm.
made an example out of me. But yeah, so that was from like 2012, I think, and then I violated, and then that's when I did end up going to prison.
So what about all the stuff? Now my question is about the evictions, the things like that,
Yeah.
and the problems with your business.
Yes, ma'am. So the only real evictions are the ones from my business. My home, those are not accurate. So there was one that was a successful filing. They did get the court order, but then after that, I appealed it and I fought back and I won. So there was no successful home evictions. But for my business, yeah, I did go through some stuff last year, and unfortunately, it played out all out in the media. So right after I started filming for Love during lockup last year, or actually during the filming process is when I really started going through things. And unfortunately, it was all put out there. Some of it truth,
That's
some
a
of it
lot.
not.
I can imagine it's a lot running a business, juggling those finances, and juggling your household finances, and then you have the books.
Yes.
That you gotta. Were you the only one putting money on his books? Or what about his family or what? Because that's a lot. I know you women be putting a lot on these men's books.
Well, I didn't really. I put some on his books in the beginning. I didn't. It was
Hmm.
like because I had never really, really been with somebody incarcerated, you know. So for me to like, I would send like $80 here, this and that. He had never asked me for money. I would just send it,
Okay.
you know. But then he ended up sending me money,
Oh,
and it
that's
was a
good.
lot more
Hmm.
than I had ever sent him. So I'm like, hold up.
I
So
can ask a question about that. This man make coin in the pen.
yes.
I'm gonna play
Uh,
naive.
I mean, it's possible. You know, I'm not gonna get on here and be like, yeah, my man's in there hustling. No,
Yeah,
you know
you
what I'm
don't want to
saying?
incriminate him.
Well, I mean, he hasn't done anything wrong. So, I mean, he had money before he got locked up, and I don't know what else happened after
Okay.
that. Mhm.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Next question is coming from Latchkey Kid 78. Why did you come on this show knowing that your husband wasn't getting out?
Whew,
That's what she
we could
wants to
talk about that. We could talk about that. Um, Honestly, production would have never let me on the show if we didn't expect him to get out. So I don't know if you watched the show, you could see that there were motions filed. Okay, with the court, we really thought that my husband was getting out, and it was a very heartbreaking experience. I went through a lot. I was already crawling out of a depression just to be put right back into one, expecting my husband to be released and all these motions being filed, telling us the laws changed and they applied to him when they may or may not have applied to him. And here we are, you know, going through this. And yeah, so this is why you don't really
right.
see me that many episodes with me airing on it because my husband was not out, you know, when we were filming.
And this is not the first time we've seen these couples who didn't come out. So you're not the
Yeah.
first one. But was that the paralegal who told you he was getting out, or the attorney, the state public defender?
It was the paralegal. So we had the paralegal
Oh.
before the public defender ever even got into the picture.
Hmm.
The paralegal actually kicked off everything, and then the public defender came in. Public defender said, "No, your husband doesn't qualify." Paralegal's like, "Yes, he does. The district is racist." Blah 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 blah. So it's like, okay, we're siding with the paralegal. Of course, we want to believe everything
Right,
he's
because that's
saying.
what you want to hear.
Yes, ma'am. But then also it made sense. But I mean, I may be smart, but there's just some things that are not my expertise. So this is what we hire other people for. And also, he was recommended to my husband because supposedly he had gotten other people out, including himself. But my thing is, some things don't apply to everybody. And then when you do hire, when someone does hire you, you have to tell them the entire process. You can't just tell them, because he told us that my husband was going to be home by Christmas last year. So as soon as I
Mm.
heard that in November is when we hired him, I went and I told my producers, okay? And of course, they
Mhm.
didn't just throw us on the show. We had to show paperwork and all that court filings. So, and then unfortunately, it didn't play out the way that we thought. So here I am on TV by myself again, which I did not want at all. Did not want to go through any of this by myself. So, yeah, that's where we
What
are.
happens? I mean, the legal system is like, mm, I don't know, because I had not a criminal case, but just a legal case, and the money involved in paying these attorneys, it's like a crap shot because you don't know what they're telling you is possible,
Yes,
or if they're
ma'am.
going to string you along so you can keep paying and paying and paying. So I understand your pain on that one.
Yes. You don't never
Another
know. It's
question.
not our decision. It's really up
Hmm.
to the judge. So we were just waiting on a judge to like sign. So I'm sitting there checking the Pacer for federals, Pacer website 2 or 3 times a day. So I'm already in a depression. I'm going through other stuff. I'm
Hmm.
filming. I'm going through media bullshit. And then the stress of like, is my husband am I gonna get a phone call, you know,
Right.
from saying that he's come get him? So that's what we were
Hmm.
doing. We actually filmed a scene of me like pretending to get a phone call just in case that immediate release did happen when production wasn't there. And I'm
Oh,
running through the house and all that stuff. So it was real stuff. So this was not fake. This was not, we snuck on the show. Like, you
right. I
know, yeah.
get that impression. This was just one of the, the followers they wanted to know,
Yeah.
And the next one's coming from McCain 1521, Ms. Kane. Why are you ignoring your older daughter's feelings about your husband on the show? She clearly states that she doesn't want to live with the guy.
Yeah, so I have not ignored my daughter's feelings. My children are my world. My oldest is my oldest baby. She's been through everything with me. So we've definitely had this talk. You only see so much on TV. So I can understand just basing everything off of what you guys see on TV that you
Hmm.
guys would feel that I'm not being the mother that I need to be to my children. My children come first. Don't no man ever come in front of them, and that's period. Okay. So me and my husband, we have been together for 4.5 years. And it's not like I'm just a pen pal. Like I see this man, several times a month, for hours a day. He has built a relationship with my youngest daughter because my youngest daughter's father, well, he's not a part of the picture. So it was easier for them to build a relationship. We actually are already a blended family. So his family, my family, his biological children are over at my home. We go out of town, do things like that. So it's a lot that has gone on behind the scenes that people don't know. As far as my oldest daughter, I was previously married. Her father is very active in her life, very active in her life.
Hmm.
So, and then she's also seen me go through a very bad relationship with her sister's father.
Hmm.
So I haven't had men around my kids. So this is different. The only men that's been around is their biological dads. So this is different from my oldest. She's also 15. Well, she's about to be 16. Then they've got their attitudes. And then another
Hmm.
thing, my daughter hates filming. She hates being on camera. She doesn't even like FaceTiming. She doesn't even FaceTime her friends. Okay.
Hmm. Oh,
So yes, yes, ma'am. So last year when we did Love During Lockup, she was irritated then too. And this year I told my producers, I'm like, she doesn't want to film. They forced me to put her on camera because they said they had to continue the storyline. But I am stronger now, mentally, physically, and I see what it does to my daughter. She does not want to be on camera, and that's what it is. So she was not going to be on camera
okay.
again unless she wants to. So it was a lot to play in that. And then also, sorry to cut you off, but she has every right to feel the way that she feels. This is an
Mhm.
unusual situation, okay? A very unusual situation versus me out here dating a guy and he comes over or whatever. Also, a lot of people didn't know that my husband is actually getting released to the halfway house. So he's not going to be coming home full time, right away. So they will still have that time to get to know each other as well.
Okay, good, good, good. Now, there's a post you made online about some stalker or something. You're leaving Iowa because of it.
Yeah, I do have a severe stalker situation. The police are involved. It's been ongoing since this December, as far as I know. And I don't want to mention this person's name or anything, but yeah, it's really, really bad to the point where it's affected my children and their schooling, my housing, I mean, my sanity, everything. It's really, really bad.
Mhm.
Um,
Right.
I'll just say this, the loudest person talking is usually the one lying. Okay, so it's been very, very hard, and that's going to all be revealed in my book. Still at a Warrant Felon, that's going to be coming out. Um, and then I'm sure it with the courts and our attorneys and things, you guys will see the real truth.
Well, that's good. I mean, I'm glad. I mean, they shouldn't be, children should be off limits, Don't, whatever beef she has or he has, camera went off a little bit. Whatever the beef is, leave the kids out. And I don't like
Well, the
that
kids should be
whole,
out, but
yes.
sometimes they
And
don't
that's,
really mean to directly affect the kids, but your actions can
hmm,
affect the children because you're so obsessed with me. When I'm saying obsessed, I'm not talking about like Mariah Carey obsessed with me. Like it's a real crazy situation.
I can
Like
imagine it. Hmm.
it's really crazy. So when I do break down the details to you guys are going to see it. Even some of the Love After Lockup fans have put pieces together with things. I've kept quiet. I know what to say on the internet, what not to say on the internet, when to say it and when not to say it, and just let things play out. And this person is probably watching now or will watch it, and then, you know, so it's a crazy situation. But I've been advised to not say much more.
Yeah, I think the less you say, the better. You don't want to get a heads up to not to
Yes,
that person. So I hear you coming out with a book. Did I hear
yes,
that in
ma'am.
your?
Yeah. Yes,
Mm,
ma'am. So last year when I aired on TV, well, actually a couple hours before I aired on TV, the popular blogger for Love After Lockup came out with articles, a million articles about me since then, but
mhm,
has came out with an article, one saying I was being evicted from the home featured on the show. That was a lie. I actually was
mhm,
scammed, like real life scammed by my realtor, and we actually got a settlement in our favor. So I took down a judge, a part-time judge, magistrate judge, two attorneys, and a realtor. And that's facts. So can't nobody argue with me about that. I've got the proof, they've got the proof, and that's what it is. And those cases were dropped. So I entered into a land contract, and then whenever I was late on my payment, I would get a 3-day notice on my door. Okay, so they would treat me like a renter when it came time for the money. Okay, but if there was any repairs or anything else with the home, I was the owner. Okay, so it came after several filings and several cases being dismissed. Iowa Legal Aid picked up my case and fought back for me and
mhm.
helped me. And that's actually what threw me into my depression, because this actually has happened last year. And then so for it to article to be made about me, and then by sarcasm, and then for media takeout to pick up that article, and I'm brand new to TV, I'm in a deep depression, and the only thing that's keeping me alive was my children. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I had worked very hard to get this home. Okay, it's a $400,000
Mhm,
home, big house, big staircase, big everything, and I did that as a single mother. So for it to be plastered all over the internet and for it to not even be true was very, very hard. And this was my first day. I'm on my way to my premiere party, and to have that come out. And then I had another they came out with another article. Sorry, they came out with another article about my criminal history. I actually filmed my criminal history. Okay. I talked about it in my confessional. They never aired it because my producer at the time was like, you want to go ahead and put it out there because people are going to be able to look this up. So I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. Sorry, I'm not allowed to cuss on your channel. Okay. Okay. So
My language.
it,
That's my
it
language.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it never aired. It never
Mhm,
aired. Here comes the article with like all these different mug shots. So
mhm,
and it was actually all old shit. And I don't even care if it was new. But it's the fact that it did come out like that, and it was just like, wow, and she's a tax preparer or accountant, and she's got these financial crimes. My financial crimes was one, I told you about my fraud charge for lying on my food stamp application, food and medical. So me and my ex-husband and my one daughter at the time, this is this is what happened, and I go into detail about that in my book as well. But they threw the book at me. People
mhm.
don't report their income all the time. They underreport it, or they don't report changes. They actually were going to hit me with a 25-year Class B felony if I didn't take a 10-year plea. Yes, I lost everything. I was in jail for like 2 months. I didn't have money for an attorney. My family didn't have money. I was going through a divorce. So yeah, I had a court appointed attorney. I could never get a hold of him. And he just comes and he's like on video court, the video visit, and is like, yeah, if you don't sign this plea, they're going to hit you with 25 years. I have a daughter. At the time, I only had
Mhm.
one. I have a daughter. And 25 years, are you fucking kidding me? So
Yeah,
I
it's
take the
crazy.
10-year, yes, ma'am. I take the 10-year plea. They drop my plea, or they drop my bond from 10,000 cash only to 10%. My grandmother came and got me out for $1,000. 3 weeks I was sentenced. 3 weeks later, I was sentenced to probation. It was very scary because I had really never really went through something like
Right.
that. So I'm just like, damn, for my food stamp. And are you serious? I was locked up with a woman in the county who was getting it from multiple states and selling it. And, like it was just crazy.
Right.
So at that
Mhm.
point, I'm like, fuck these people. Okay.
Mhm.
And then I've had, other charges from theft charges that were felonies from floating money from one bank account to another. So I would write a bad check from one of my banks to my other
Mhm.
bank so that I
Mhm.
could pay bills or whatever I was doing.
Right, to make ends
Um,
meet, paying robbing Bob, whatever,
Robbing
Peter to
Peter to
pay
pay
Paul.
Paul.
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
So I did that. And then I was just tired of that. I was on probation. I violated my probation. That's how I ended up going to the halfway house, violated there because I wouldn't give my damn money. I was I went OPA, which means I like wasn't where I was supposed to be. So I'd go get my damn hair done. I know it was stupid.
Right, right.
I know it was stupid. This was back in like
Mhm. Well,
2014.
you were young, young, yeah.
Yeah, so I then and then they violated me and I went back to the county. So I did 4 months in the halfway house, back to the county, straight to the county.
Ooh.
And I was in there for about 3 months and then went straight from there to prison for about a year. So it was about a year and a half that I was
Wow.
incarcerated.
Yeah,
Whole time I'm
yeah.
providing for my daughter though. I'm sending I had
Mhm.
already had money, gave my money to my parents, take care of my baby. You know what I'm saying? It
Right.
was very hard,
Mhm.
very hard, very hard. And then my parents are evangelists, deacon, and then
Mhm.
I'm the
Right.
only daughter. But I mean, to hear my dad, cry on the phone, when because he wasn't able to make my court date. So to hear your father, upset, and know that you caused that, it was like, you know what, I'm done with this, I'm done trying to survive. You know what I'm saying? I want to do the right thing. I get out, I get into a domestic violence relationship. Okay. Didn't happen
Mhm.
right away. It did not happen right away. But it starts off mentally. They cut you off from your family, your friends, they
Mhm.
belittle you. It's the verbal attacks. This man didn't even do anything for me. I had two miscarriages before I had my baby, my youngest daughter that you guys seen that call me
Mhm.
plastic on TV. um, so, and it was a lot. So I had to pick up the pieces. I kicked him out when I was about 4 months pregnant, 5 months pregnant, because I was scared of him. I was scared. I was
Mhm.
getting beat. I was getting raped. It was a lot of things. And that's the first time that R word, that's the first time I've actually said that on TV or on the internet. I never told anybody about that, but that's in my book. It's a lot. I was always that type of woman that was like, I would never let a man hit me. I will never let a man treat me like this. I'm a strong woman. And
Mhm.
I fell right into that trap. And my family didn't even know. My best friend didn't even know.
Mhm.
Um, we ended up getting back together after my baby was born. Um, and then, yeah, he just started talking crap to me. And I got tired of it. So I said something back to him and he hit me. This beating went on for, to me it felt like about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Okay, no, I'm trying to run out the window, trying to run out the door, screaming, nobody's trying to help me, like nobody can hear me. It was crazy. I had to play cool, and then he just let me be. And he took my phones and everything. I went to the bathroom. I had grabbed an old phone because I had just bought brand new phones for me and my daughter, my oldest daughter. I grabbed her old phone. Thank God she wasn't there. Um, I grabbed her old phone and it powered up. I was in the bathroom. I hit it and I hooked it up to the internet. Thank God that bill was paid. Okay. Logged into my messenger, took a picture of myself, sent it to my best friend who lives in Texas. I said he won't let me leave. I had blood, just I looked like Carrie. Okay. And she started typing, and I'm like, stop. Don't don't type back because he has my phone and he will
Mm.
see it. And she stopped. And then the next thing I just had faith that everything that I would be saved. So I went back in the living room. I grabbed my baby and I just sat down, and then I started to hear the sirens, and I ran with my baby out the door, stood in the middle of the street. So, I mean, you have so much strength that by the
Mhm.
time the ambulance came, it's like adrenaline. I didn't realize how badly I was beaten. Um, so I went for my ambulance to the local hospital. The police come there and they're like, we can't find him. What do you mean you can't find him? He had like jumped a fence or something and he was gone. But
Mm-mm.
yeah, it was crazy. But he had a history of this. This is a history. So it was like it wasn't no, oh, is she lying or exaggerating? Plus, it was visible on me. And then I took an ambulance like an hour out because I had broken bones all on this side of my face. So they were worried about like my eye socket and all that stuff. By the time I got back home a couple of days later, I was so sore I could not move. So I laid on the couch and I was working at a top tax firm in the area for about 2 or 3 years at that point. I got fired. They didn't know what was going on with me. I didn't tell them. So they fired me for not showing up to work. So I'm like, I got to get money. Here goes these notices. My landlord's blowing me down. Like I got to figure this shit out. So I went back and did the same shit, wrote those checks from my bank to this bank. It worked, took care of what I needed to take care of, splurged a little bit too, got my mental right, or at least I thought anyways. And a couple months later, detective, reaching out to me and I'm like, fuck. So here goes another felony charge. And I was doing so good. Um, so that was in 2018. Uh, I got charged in 2018 for that theft charge. And then we get to like it kind of I was like
Okay.
different attorneys, then COVID hit. So it took about
Mhm.
2 or 3 years before I actually got convicted. So you'll actually see the conviction in like 2020, I believe, even though original charge was, prior to that. So, and I'm currently going through a situation with a dispute with a client. So I do have a new charge that I'm fighting from a situation that happened a while ago. And, just people have said a lot of nasty things. My thing is, if you don't really know the situation or if you weren't there, it's okay to think something. But when you go and you put it out in the comments or you get on the internet, you say things or you share things, just know that people are innocent until proven guilty. Okay. So at least do that. Okay. Because
A
once
lot of
things get,
people, you know how they are. And I would suggest I wouldn't, if I were in your situation, I probably wouldn't look on the internet because people
oh,
talk.
I
Even
don't
when you
see.
don't even have half the stuff, even if you're an angel, they're gonna come for you
Yeah, yes,
regardless.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So yeah, that's what's going on. So just pray for me. Yes, I am asking
Hmm.
for prayers. And then also pray for the other party involved as well.
Okay. Also, what about your emotional health? Are you saying you're being depressed and stuff? Was you what, like getting therapy or something? Because a lot of Black people, you're like, we don't need it, and maybe it's not wrong with getting or reaching out to if you're in the church, reaching out for some counseling.
Um, it was like a roller coaster. Did I need therapy? Yes, I did. But it was like, how do I seek the help that I need to seek when it's I got to deal with them? It was just everything that happened at one
Mhm.
time, and then it just took off. So you're trying to keep up with this. I got it kicked out of this office space. So I'm like, you know what? I'm hard-headed as fuck. Okay. I'm gonna get this office space and let's get a bigger one. So it's more expensive. I'm gonna build a bigger team and we're gonna make this happen. I hired some expensive women, to work for me. And it just I couldn't keep up when I really needed to back down, okay, get a smaller space, and I didn't do it, and I regret that now because then it backfired on me as well. And then being attacked in the media, and I live in a small area, so it's like I was the first tax boss around here of my color. Okay. So I opened up the doors for a lot of women of color in my area to open up their own firms. Some of them even started working for me. And then I've helped them open up their own. I'm the type of person that we all can eat. That's how I think,
Right,
but
exactly.
when I've helped a lot of people open up businesses or financially get money, whatever. That's just who I am. But when things don't go people's way, they are quick to turn their back on you. So I just have a big heart. So it was hard. So I felt alone. My husband, this is when I really needed my husband, and then it's all on TV. It wasn't even on TV. It was the media. Okay, so that media will tear you down. They don't prepare you for this when you go on reality TV, or they didn't for our show. So it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, things will come up, of course, but you're like, holy shit, you know? And
Right.
then I was being stalked and harassed by sarcasm. Fuck them. I don't care if they try to say anything else. That's what it is. Every week it was something. Every single week I had more articles written about me when I wasn't even airing on TV. Okay. So now I
Hmm.
expect it of them. Right now, I have the mental to deal with that shit. I know not to follow certain things. I know not. So even when I'm airing on TV, I unfollow certain, even Love After Lockup, or I'll take them out of my newsfeed because it's like triggering to see your face come across the newsfeed, like 400
Right.
comments.
Exactly.
Half of them are
Exactly.
talking shit. You know it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
I know. It's like, because even as, bloggers like us, bloggers with the V, you get something in the comments. Now, YouTube kind of screens them out. I had a person posting saying, why don't you answer mine? You always delete it. You this, what this, you hiding this, you hiding that. I'm like, thank you, YouTube, for deleting it, because you're talking left. And
yes,
I mean, there's things you can do. If you don't want to see it, skip it,
exactly.
fast forward, mute it, whatever you want to do, but you got options, but you want to be nasty. And I'm glad they deleted it. So yeah, people just want to be nasty. They have the option. I'm just looking at myself in the camera on this
You
new
look
spot.
good. Keep looking.
No, but my head's going like, womp, womp, womp.
You
Sorry,
have to
people. I'm gonna have
like
to
wait. This is okay. Wait, this is left, but I
yeah, I know. I was trying to fix it. I was getting turned
because
around.
it's
Sorry, people.
backwards.
And
It's
I'm not gonna
backwards.
edit this video, so you're just gonna have to deal with it.
No,
So
it's okay. You might see me adjusting my wig a little bit. It's cool.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
yeah,
yeah, people
it's a lot to deal with. So I know they say don't read the comments. This is other people tell me, but it was so hard when you're going through. Then you have to stop people from sending you negative shit. I had
hmm.
to cut people off, family, friends, because like, why are you sending me this shit? I know people are talking shit. And I know what I've done. I know what I haven't done. So unless it's about somebody breaking in my house and I don't fucking know about it, then you don't need to send me shit that I already know about. Okay. I don't care who shared it, this and that. So once you start putting your foot down, protecting your
Hmm.
peace, it's easier to deal with. So even the new cast members, they have reached out to me. How do you, I tell them, baby, don't follow this. Don't follow this person because that's all they're going to do. Don't read the comments. Stay out of those fucking devil groups on Facebook, okay?
Right.
All that. Like, tell your family, and if they keep sending it to you, they don't respect you because, and then
Right.
they have to learn how to deal with. People say that we're not celebrities, but you guys talk. We are. We're not A list, okay? But we are. So people are not used to having all that type of attention on their family and friends. So it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So you have to kind of calm them too. Like, look, this is what's
Right.
going on. Expect this, but do not send me this shit. Okay.
Hmm. Exactly. And that's going to keep your peace of mind. So
It
you
does
you
help.
found some way of handling it, because
Yes,
otherwise
ma'am.
you'd be up all in that stuff like, nope, not today,
It
Satan,
will.
not today, not today.
Yeah.
I got
Keep
my weapon against you. No weapons formed against me shall
shall
prosper.
prosper. Yes, ma'am.
Mm-mm.
So
So
it's people, especially with the fans that we have with this group, or this show, a lot of them are very mean, very and then that's just how the internet is these days too. People can get on there and say the nastiest shit about you, like their life is perfect, judging you off of an hour on TV for the season, so you just have to know this is just, you're not going to see these people more than likely. Okay. So it's hard. So my first season, it was easier said than done. But this season, I don't see shit. I be like, who? Oh, they wrote an article about a tax lien? Damn, that's
no,
a
the one thing
stretch.
I will do, I will call people, women out, and men, because there are a few men with children. When they bring it in, I'm like giving all your money, call that a bird, giving
Yes,
all
ma'am.
the, instead of bringing the worm to the nest, you bringing the worm out to the jailbird. And I'll be like, no, that's bird mentality, bird brain mentality. The kids come first. But I'm glad to hear that you support your kids come first. I'm glad to hear that. And he's
Oh,
not
I
going to be
don't play
moved up in the
that.
house.
I don't play that.
Mm-mm,
I don't play about my
mm-mm,
kids, and that's why this recent situation. I'm not gonna even bring it. Is a recent situation when it starts, because they say you don't let your storm affect your kids. Okay, I have been through a
Exactly.
lot, but my kids don't know. You know what I'm saying? And lately, over the past, my oldest, of course, she's gonna start noticing some things. But this whole stalker situation has really, really affected us to
Right.
where, yeah,
Hmm. I mean, it's honest. Kids need to see honest daily situation, not traumatic thing, but see how you resolve situations. Like conflicts, reasonable conflicts, how you resolve things. Sheltering too much is going to put them out in a world where they're going to be susceptible to anything. But yeah, you don't have to hide your life totally, but show them, that this is how I dealt with it, and even have this honest conversation with your children. You know
I actually
that
had
you
to.
were and as you don't have the means and people do things, desperate people do desperate things. So you were a
Yes,
desperate
ma'am.
woman at one time and you did desperate things. Not the best things,
No, ma'am.
smartest, but you've learned, you've grown from it. And I'm glad you came can really see. I think it kind of froze. I hope it now people can see that the real Latisha, because we had one like, hey, like I really when you want to, I just thought you were okay, not
It's okay. Lay it on
I
me.
might have called you a bird. I might have called you that.
A
Okay, I might have.
birthday.
Okay, yeah, I mean, honest. Mm, I did report on one of the sarcasms. We all run and we do report, so you will see that. But I really go hard in when like a Taylor situation, Taylor and Chance. Oh, hey, claws are out. She moved that man straight from the pen up in there. No, and their kids are young kids too. Not your kids. You got a young one and an old one, but jumping in the man's lap. No, no, ma'am.
Yeah.
No, I know.
My
Maybe I don't know if you're a Taylor or friends, but I just don't.
I've never
I have
talked
to.
to her.
Well, good because I have to draw a line when it comes to that. Yes, you move them in, but let them build a relationship. You just do not like I were like, hey, it's too messy. And now she got
Yeah.
his girlfriend living with them, and he's living in the household now. It's just messy, and the kids don't look happy. So,
Yeah.
but Latisha, you have changed my mind. I didn't really have a hard, I was just kind of impartial with you. I didn't really felt either way. I didn't think you were the worst of the worst, so I wasn't really one of the ones. I
Well, thank
I
you.
might have called you a bird. But I'm glad you came on the channel and explained things. It's like, what? I mean, I'm glad this was a smart move on your part. I think so.
Thank you.
This is very smart.
It
You
was
convinced me.
hard. It's hard when you're depressed and you're going through everything that you're going through, and people are even more invested because they're like, how the hell is she surviving all this shit? I'm a
Hmm.
survivor. I'm not going to give up. I do from a family of strong women. Have they made the stupid ass mistakes that I've made? Hell no. Hell no. But you know what? I'm not going to give up. I have my children. I have an amazing husband. You guys are going to love him when you meet him. And I just have that fight in me, even though I was curled up in the ball multiple times over the past year, heartbroken, sad, felt like I was broken. I got
Hmm.
back up. And lately I have been really, really praying. I've gone back to my roots. I'm not saying I'm a saint. I'm not, perfect or
Right.
anything like that. But God has been calling me, and it has just been coming out of me, and like all weekend I have just been listening to gospel music. I haven't even played my Jeezy. Okay. I ain't played Jeezy all weekend. But I just every song, it was just spiritual cleansing
Right.
to me, and you just get tired of surviving. That's where
Hmm.
I'm at in my life right now. I'm tired of surviving. I'm
Right.
tired of having to fight. You know, this is what it is. I want to live my life. I want my children to be healthy, safe. We are on TV, so things are different for us now. And
Hmm.
it is different for my children now too. I've explained those things to them as well. So we're working on things. But when my rock comes home, and I know people are like, well, how you guys don't you ain't live together on the streets? How many times have you dated a man? You met him at the club, the bar. at the park or whatever. You've dated him. He's probably been around your kids sooner than he should have. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You're going to take a risk whether he's in prison or whether he's down the street. Like I said, I met a man that was on the streets and he beat the shit out of me and almost killed me. Okay. I have been molested. I have been raped. I've been from people on the streets. So it
Right.
doesn't matter where they came from, it's the person. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to let nobody bash my husband. You don't know him. I do. And that's facts.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's good. And I want to build, someone says, you don't build black, my channel is not a build black women up kind of channel. We just here to tea and a
We need to
kiki.
stick together, sister.
You tell your little girls to get in college, get them in college, gear them up for college, gear them up for success because they can
my
do well. They look like smart girls.
my
And
babies
I'm
are
telling you,
very.
that's generational wealth. You're starting a house, hold and tell them to go to college, get, more income for them. More
Yes,
income.
ma'am.
I
We
just
have
have
to
to
stick
stress that out.
together. It's hard out here being
Mm-hmm.
a woman. It's hard
Mm-hmm.
out here being a black woman. And then it's hard out here, black single woman or a single mother. We are going to always have the odds against us as a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm
Right.
not going to tear down another woman. Now, I'm not saying I haven't, but I've clapped back at a couple people. You know what
Well,
I'm
you
saying?
have
And then I will go and take it
to.
back. But
Mm-hmm.
I just we it's hard out here for us. It really is. It's always been
Right.
hard for us
Uh-huh.
as women. So we just have to stick together regardless of the color of our skin, regardless of our criminal
Right.
backgrounds, regardless of anything. And that's that. Let's uplift and motivate each other. You never know what somebody's going through. You never
Right.
know what
Mhm.
somebody's going through. People are just thinking, oh, I'm out here scamming. I'm out here just not paying my bills and whatever. You don't know what's really going on until I break it down, and then you feel like
Mhm.
shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And then you just added fuel to the fire by terrorizing me as well. Or and
Right.
not just me. This could be anybody else. You know what I'm saying? When I go to the drive-through, McDonald's, Starbucks, whatever, how I say yes, ma'am, how I say Mrs. Tracy, yes, it's a respect
Mhm.
thing for me.
Right.
Because and it was something that was instilled in me at a young age. So you never know what this person in the drive-through is going through at the window. Maybe she had a bad day. Maybe her motherfucking husband is beating her ass. Maybe she's about to get evicted from her home the next day, but she still has
Right.
to go to work. And then she's got to go pick up her children. And then she's got to go pack her shit. You don't know what somebody's going through. So you have to always be nice to somebody because what you say does matter. They say sticks and stones don't can't break my bones.
Mhm.
That's a fucking lie. That is a fucking
Right.
lie. That is the
That is
worst
a
shit.
lie.
Sometimes those
Mhm.
words are worse than what the person is actually going through.
Mhm. Because people will snap on you too now. So, but I think for me, I didn't really, as I said, I was kind of like, I might have said this or that, nothing really too heavy hitting. But I think when they see you in a good position, they want to tear you down. It seemed like they go harder when the perception that was presented on TV. But I'm like more powerful to you. You got some. You don't want to be living in this wherever. You're trying to uplift yourself, but some people see that as a threat, or she got more than I got. She got this. Mm-mm-mm.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
like, I want everybody to get something. Like you said, we all can eat,
We
you
all
know?
can eat. There's no reason for any type of hate.
Mm-mm.
Like if we
Nope.
were really to all band together, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like imagine what this world would be. It's crazy. We shouldn't have any
Mm-hmm.
starving children. We shouldn't have any homeless people. We shouldn't have none of that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
selfish and envy and hate here. And a lot of people are envying someone because of their strength to overcome situations. And that is very sick and sad.
Mm-hmm. And I bet you I'm gonna get a comment about what I just said, but I know there's people out there, little green with envy, and that's one trait I really don't have. Unless somebody goes on a fabulous vacation, I do get a little jealous. But other
Yes.
than that, I really don't get jealous. I really don't. That's one thing I don't really get. I like to help in any way I can. My thing advice is cut the loser, drop the zero.
Yes.
That's the best advice some people need is to drop the zero. There you
Yes,
lost
ma'am.
190 pounds, 200 pounds, whatever. But I'm glad your situation is turned around. I know you're crawling out the hole. I know you're probably still somewhat in there. I hope you're getting support because you're going to need the mind right in order to make good decisions.
Yes,
Some people
ma'am.
want to ignore it, but you gotta you
Well,
talk to somebody to
when you're
help
going
you
through
out.
so much, it was like your mental, you can't even the simple things like, taking the kids to school or getting cute and just getting dressed and going to work or going to the mailbox or just basic things are hard to do when you're depressed and people don't understand.
That's
I
true.
think you're being
That is true.
lazy,
I
you know.
that is very true.
Yeah.
That's why I said you need, if it's clinical depression, you need to go seek. Just like
No,
there's
and I
something
am
wrong with your
looking for
arm.
someone.
Yes, because you need to heal the head, the mind. Everybody wants to heal the heart, the back, the foot, the arm. What about the brain? Does that get ignored on the body? I don't understand why it gets ignored. Just
Well,
to talk to
because
somebody.
our culture doesn't teach you that it's
Hmm.
okay to go seek help. You know what I'm saying? We hide the family predator. We hide this, we
Sure do.
hide that. So
Mhm.
we are already taught at a young age to hide our feelings and our emotions and to just deal
Mhm.
with it, you know.
Right.
So we have to break that curse as well, you know. And I need to be that example for my children in more ways than one to be, financially stable, to make, stay out of trouble, to make good decisions, and then also mental health. I do talk with my children, about everything, so because I have daughters, so I have to, I'm all up in their business, okay? And I tell
Yeah.
them they don't know that
Hmm.
I had childhood trauma, okay? And I probably will one day tell them. I just don't want to see the look on their face when they find out. Actually, I probably should tell them because it's in my book. I just, but I'm all in their business. So when I say nobody's out to touch you, nobody's
Hmm.
out to bathe you. Nobody's gonna make you keep a secret. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Things like that.
Right.
Because
Hmm.
what happened to me, I was like 5 or 6 years old, and it was a cousin in my grandma's house. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
So
Yeah.
it's and I made a post about that. I shared a post on Facebook. It was viral, and then I made a post on Instagram. And to see so many well, I don't want to say victims, we're survivors. See so many
Mhm.
survivors, we so many stories, and it's you, and to see other people who haven't been through that,
Right.
or
Mhm.
or haven't witnessed that, be like, wow, yeah, this shit
Mhm.
is real. This shit
Mhm.
is real, and it gets covered up by the
Mhm.
family. It gets
Exactly.
covered up. It's
Exactly.
And this is why these pedophiles don't get a lot of time. They sentence drug dealers to the max, but pedophiles get probation, 5 years prison, or whatever the hell.
Mhm.
They don't get what they're
Little
supposed to
crimes
get.
for a little time for little because they mess with little ones, and I'm like, no, you ruin those
You
people
have fucked
for
those babies up.
decades. You messed their life up for decades, and yet you get little time, if time at all.
No, they're starting to cut dicks off now. Good. Or
And you
balls, or
wonder
whatever
what
they're
these
doing.
judges,
And
what
stuff.
these judges are to be signing such little
Well,
time. What are they?
if I
You
was a
know.
judge and there was evidence that you did this, you're going to the motherfucking death chair. Okay. I don't believe in the death
Mhm.
penalty. For most people in college, I
No,
wrote a paper.
I think it's. I'm like, hey, it's there. It's good that we got it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because some people deserve it.
Yes, ma'am.
Deserve
And
it.
in college, I wrote a paper about it, but it was the statistics of how many people are wrongly incarcerated.
Right.
So that's where, so I think like DNA evidence and things like that would play a part. Then you're going to the motherfucking, you don't need to be on this earth,
Hmm.
because there's no way that
Hmm.
you are never going to not do it again. There's
Exactly.
no
Because you
way.
can't. They can't cure that. There's no way that they can
No, you're,
cure you. So you do need the chair or life in prison. I'm sorry.
yes. And
Life
we
in
lived
prison.
in America is a fucking scam itself. America is
Well,
a scam.
mhm.
The
A lot
biggest
of
scam.
countries are out there, it's all over, and I'm thinking we're like at least better, 'cause there are some countries that won't do it, won't even acknowledge it. At least,
Mhm.
it's not much that America will do with these kids. I have friends who are social workers. I was like, what do you do with the person who did it? Just take the kids out. But what happened to? But we're not cops. But I'm like, there was a crime.
But if you
There's
were to
evidence.
protect your child by shooting them,
Hmm.
or am I allowed to say that? Whatever, protecting your child
Hmm.
with violence, you know what I'm saying? Then you're the one who's going
Then
to get
you will
more
get,
time than the person
yeah,
who harmed your child. I don't get
exactly.
it. Okay,
Mhm.
it's okay for animals, dogs, to protect their litter. You know that this mother is growling at you because she's protecting her children. Okay,
Exactly.
but let a mother come at you about her kids, and then it's a whole nother situation. Okay, like
Hmm.
I don't get it. Okay, I don't get it.
Right. Right.
I don't know. We went
Yeah.
off
Well,
topic.
I
I'm
would have to
sorry.
be spending some time in the pokey because I would go ballistic.
Yes, ma'am.
I have to go, yeah, and I'll have to cover it up somehow. I wouldn't know how, but I have to cover it because I ain't trying to be doing all that time. Like Ellie Nestor, was it Ellie Nestor? What was that one who she did it? What was her name? Ellie, the one who killed her child's uh
I don't know. It's all
violator.
types of stories now.
Yeah, she was trying to get out of prison because she handled her business.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then you have
So
sexual assault victims or who have been trafficked,
mm,
and they go and they kill their abuser or their pimp or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And they get time for that. And they're like, because it was premeditated. You don't understand until you're in
well,
that
it's not mine. Like I'm
situation
saying, I just
that you
held
might have
on
to
to that
kill
and I
that
could.
motherfucker for you to be able to really get away. Okay.
Hmm. Yep,
It's fucked
exactly.
up. Women need to stick together. Okay. That there's a
Exactly.
woman right now that just got sentenced because she killed her abuser. It's a
Hmm.
black woman too, I think.
Well, I know, and she
And
was a minor when she was a victim as a minor. And I'm like, she was a minor when she did it. And he
it's
was
sick.
committing a crime upon her body. So yeah,
Yeah.
I know
Well,
that
you
case. I know
have
that
to
case.
eliminate those
Mm-hmm.
motherfuckers so that you can get away. Because
Exactly.
a lot, like I said, that once they have that mental hold, it's like, and I've never been through exactly what this woman has been through, but I've been through some shit. So like you can't speak. I don't even think you should be able to even rule on something like that if you don't
We
have
need
the knowledge of.
women
We do,
lawmakers,
we do,
because
we
that'll
do.
change the law. He's too soft on these pervs. I'm sorry, they're
Yes,
too soft.
ma'am. And a lot of our congressmen, and they're perverts.
Mm,
They're perverts.
indeed. Hmm. Indeed. No lies detected. Okay, Latisha. But I'm going to end it right here. There are going to be some comments. Maybe
Oh,
there are going to be some good comments. I think they're going to be some good comments.
I
So
don't
you
read the
should check
comments.
them out.
They'd be mean to
You should
me.
check them out. I don't think they're going to come. I got spidey senses. I don't think they're going to come too hard because you did it. This is a great interview. I'm glad
Thank
you
you.
decided to do
Well,
it.
I-
I
I've
was
had
kind of
a
down
spiritual
low.
cleansing, and just I feel like I got people that have my back now. I'm not in this
Mm-hmm,
alone anymore. My husband's on the way. You guys can see him real
mm-hmm,
soon. So yeah, I have faith and I have hope, and
mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna keep going.
Right. Exactly. There you go. One step forward. Just say, like, okay, I made it. I did it 10 minutes today, or a peace of mind, or I just break up little mini goals, just a little thing. Okay, I made that first phone call. Okay, I did that. Scratch that off. I did 5% of the work I need you to do. Okay, check that goal off. Tomorrow I'll do 5%, and total will be 10% of it. And then just chip away at it. Just keep beating your own drum and chip away, chip away, chip away. You can't eat it. There's an African proverb that says you can't eat the elephant in one bite. You gotta keep nip, 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 nip. And then you accomplish things eventually. It's just
Yes,
gonna take
ma'am.
some time.
Thank
But
you.
I'm glad you're here, and looking forward to more success. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the show. Looking
Thank
forward.
you. We do
And
air
Keith.
this
And Keith.
Friday. Well, I air
Well,
this
just
Friday.
no, I'm talking about two. Keith too. I mean, I guess you guys gonna be on life after life, maybe?
We did not sign a contract for
Oh,
life after, so we this
uh,
year. So
oh, maybe
um
Love After the next installment.
possibly.
Okay.
You're gonna
All right
see.
then.
Once you see my
We'll
husband, then we can talk more. Okay.
Okay. All right, Latisha, thank you very much.
Thank you so much
And
for having me.
you're welcome. I'm gonna end it right here, my loves. Check it out. Check us out on the flip side. I'll answer some questions. Okay, my loves. See you later, alligators. Oh,
You want me to exit out?
oh, I gotta press this. Now it's ended. It's ended.
Okay.